Mega Barbaracle. Yes, there is a Pokemon named Barbaracle, and yes, it does have a Mega Evolution that came out in Pokemon Champions. It's not a Mega Evolution that players have really explored much, but we're going to be trying out and seeing how well its viability is in the Champions format. Maybe it's a sleeper pick, who knows? This is a Barbaracle team created by the Aaron Cybertron Zhang, and I think was an originally inspired team by Parker VGC with a few adjustments with the Golden Go especially. This team was able to reach Champions tier, and we're going to be playing it in Champions tier, so let's see how the team will perform. But first, let's break it down. So first Pokemon up is going to be the Mega Barbaracle, and Mega Barbaracle is a interesting Mega Evolution. Gets access to Tough Claws as its ability when it Mega Evolves, increasing the power of its contact moves by 33%, in this case going to be the close combat. And also when it does Mega Evolve, it does get access to a type change from Water Rock type to Fighting Rock type. It gets access to the Sniper ability pre-Mega Evolution, although a lot of the abilities for Barbaracle aren't exactly the greatest. Sniper is the one that's most likely going to come into play, because if you get an attack off in non-Mega form and you get a crit, then it will actually be like super powered up, which can be pretty nice. And then Rock Slide and Close Combat going to be the coverage option, same type attack bonus. It's pretty hard into like Charizard, Incineroar, Tyrannitars, and a bunch of other Pokemon like King Gambit that are common in this format. Shell Smash is going to be the way we're going to be using Mega Barbaracle, because it allows it to be a sweeper, increasing the speed and its attack stats by 2 stages at the cost of -1 on both defenses, and then Protect to keep itself around. EV Spread on this Barbaracle, it does allow you to be able to just dish out as much damage as possible, and Max Attack allows it to be effective sweeper. You also got to remember that Intimidate can slow down Barbaracle, so you still want Barbaracle to do a lot of damage and get KOs at +1 only. And then the rest, you do have a good general amount of bulk and then some speed, and this speed allows you to be able to outspeed base 135s pre-Mega Evolving. And when you do Mega Evolve, you get access to enough speed to be able to outspeed the Mega Swampert by 1 point, Adamant Max Speed Swampert. So in Rain, after you go for Shell Smash with Barbaracle, you still outspeed the Swampert even though it has Swift Swim thanks to your +2 speed, which I did mistake being a speed tie in the video, which you'll see later. Next Pokemon that allows us to set up the Barbaracle, it's a classic Incineroar, because Intimidate and Fake Out support are just really nice for Barbaracle in general, and you're able to pivot into the grass type moves as well as threaten the grass types that do threaten the Barbaracle, like the Whimsicots of the format, the Sinishas especially that have access to a grass type move. Yeah, you need that coverage option. So pretty standard Citrus Berry Incineroar, just really good supports with the Fake Outs and the Parting Shot options. Flare Blast, Throat Chop are pretty good offensively, Intimidate as a way to lower the opposing attack, and just a pretty bulky one in general, able to survive some good attacks, and has the Brave nature instead, so it can take advantage of Trick Room and be able to also dish out a decent amount of damage, especially with the Flare Blitz. You want to be able to remove those grass types, as I mentioned before, and you want the Flare Blitz to actually be able to hit the King Gambit for a lot more damage, especially that can threaten the next Pokemon on the team. And that Pokemon gonna be a Life Orb Golden Go, and Golden Go gonna be really nice into the Fairy type Pokemon that Mega Barbaracle does not enjoy playing against, especially those Ghost types. It's also really nice into Sneasler, which the first two do struggle into, and any other fighting types. So just being able to wall like the Sneasler and most other fighting coverage options that you have the ability to switch into, very nice. And then the power of just the initial Make It Rain with the Life Orb means it can play really offensively right off the start, or after a Nasty Plot, get some really strong KOs, as it was a very popular Pokemon in the Regulation H format. Good as Gold is a fantastic ability that just prevents the Golden Go from getting affected by any status moves in general. And then able to set up Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, really strong Ghost type attack, Make It Rain is so strong, and then Protect to keep itself around. This EV Spread on the Golden Go does allow you to be able to outspeed the Modest Venusaurs, Adamant Basket Legions. It allows you to be able to speed creep some of the Charizards in the format in general, and then still just what you want to do as much power as possible, especially after the Nasty Plot. So you have still the +2 Shadow Ball and Make It Rain really getting those KOs, so you're going to go with max special attack, and then the rest remaining is just going to go into HP. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Weavile. So we have a bunch of ground weaks in the current team, so you want to have access to a mon that threatens Garchomp, and ideally something that outspeeds the life of Garchomps, especially that threaten it. So we have this Focus Sash Weavile, which is able to live 1 strong attack, and then the Pickpocket for the ability, which is nice because after you burn the Focus Sash, if you do make contact with the opponent, you can steal their item potentially, which can be nice to remove an item from play from your opponent. So you have access to the moveset of Triple Axle, strong ice type move where it's a bit shaky accuracy wise, but it's really good because it's able to one-shot the Focus Sash, Sneaslers, able to play around the Whimsicott as well with the Focus Sash, and threaten the Garchomp with that Triple Axle. Knockoff for the strong Dark type move, which is still good into stuff like, again, Basculegion and the other ghost types that could be a little bit annoying for the rest of the team. Fake out support because double fake out is just really strong, and then protect to keep itself around. EV spread wise, just max speed, max attack for this Weavile to outspeed multiple threats, including Whimsicott and more, and dish out as much damage as possible. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Cobra Berry Sinistra, which is able to help out with the super effective Dark type moves, and Hospitize, such a great ability that is able to just heal the ally by 25% every time that Sinistra switches in. Really effective with the Golden Go as well as the Barbaracle. So Sinistra is pretty nice on the team. Having that redirection is just really nice for any setup Pokemon, and we have multiple of them. The Life Dew recovery as well as Hospitize just stacks up. Trick Room is pretty nice against the Tailwind teams, especially because the team doesn't have any fast form of speed control. So having access to one against the Trick Room teams can still be very valuable. And Reverse Trick Room is pretty nice against some of the Trick Room teams out there in the format. Machagacha's strong grass type move helps out with Swampert Rain. Life Dew recovery is just really solid. So Sinistra able to provide a really great support role on this team. We're going with a really defensive Sinistra to be able to take on like the Last Respects as well as the Kowtow Cleaves from Boosted King Gambit, and then also just being able to still survive some attacks and take them better, especially like the Dazzling Gleams and Moonblast from the Fairy types and the Hyper Voices from Sylveon. So this has a little bit of speed in order to be able to just speed creep some of the opposing Sinistra, and sometimes maybe the Incineroar as well, so you can get maybe like a Life Dew that is faster, and just not playing speed ties against opposing Sinistra is nice, so that is going to be the case here. So final Pokemon on this team is going to be the Choice Scarf Hisuian Zoroark with the illusion ability that is able to disguise the Zoroark as the last member of your party, which is pretty cool, and the moveset of Bitter Malice, Hyper Voice, Icy Wind, and Flamethrower. Hisuian Zoroark is definitely an interesting mon, and I think it pairs pretty well with Barbaracle because you always have to worry as the opponent about Shell Smash setup from Barbaracle and it's sweeping your team. So if you're able to kind of burn those resources, force it down to where Zoroark is absorbing the attacks, you can weaken the threats to the Barbaracle or the Golden Go, and then afterward you're able to really just set up afterward because you don't have to worry about the threats as much because they're weakened, and put yourself in a really great spot if the opponent did commit their resources too early on. And this is pretty effective because it's really nice with Barbaracle, not only as a fighting immunity with Zoroark, but also pairs well with Golden Go because if they go for the ghost type attacks that are super effective against Golden Go, that normal typing on the Zoroark will make it immune to the ghost type moves, and then they take a lot of damage and it could be a bad response here. Icy Wind speed control is also fantastic with the speedy Zoroark. This allows you to outspeed, again with the Zoroark, with the Choice Scarf allows you to outspeed like Scarf Garchomps in the format, Scarf Basculegions, and just threaten 2 shots. Icy Wind speed control is just really nice to allow the rest of the team to potentially just outspeed the opponent, which is fantastic. And Hyper Voice is good spread damage, Flamethrower for the coverage against King Gambit and multiple other steals, and Bitter Malice, a ghost type move that can also just lower the attack stat of the opposing side, can be really nice for some defensive play. But the Zoroark going to be kind of more of a disruptor here, which can be pretty solid to get a surprise on your opponent and again allow you to set up one of your threats in the later parts of the game when the resources have been utilized already in the early stages. So how to use the team? Well, it's mainly about your setup Pokemon. Golden Go and Barbaracle, set up the Shell Smash, set up the Nasty Plot, try to figure out the ways to be able to set up these Pokemon in order to be able to get their setup safely and then sweep the opponent. That's the idea of this team. You have access to multiple tools that are able to accomplish that. Incineroar Sinistra, pretty classic. You're able to have that fake out support, so you can go for fake out plus Nasty Plot, fake out plus Shell Smash. You could go for like Protect, Parting Shot, and then have get in your Weavile, go for a fake out setup again, or you could go for Sinistra, get Rage Powder redirection. All of those effective ways to be able to set up, of course, the classic mons, and then allow them to sweep teams. You also have other options that you do have access to, which is going to be mainly going to be that Zoroark. That Zoroark does have options with the illusion ability. It's not a mon you'll always bring, but if you think that you have too many resources that have to be dealt with before like Golden Go or Barbaracle can set up. You can lead the Zoroark and disguise as one of Golden Go or Barbaracle, and then by doing that, you could force the targets into Zoroark while getting like some good chip damage or a nice setup with either Icy Wind or Bitter Malice. So once Zoroark goes down, you can then bring in your Golden Go or Barbaracle. Zoroark can also be nice in the back, I think, because of the fact that that fast Icy Wind can be very, very strong in disrupting the opponent, allowing for Golden Go, if it's already set up a +2, to be able to clean up afterwards. So I think it's pretty nice even as a back mon, even if you aren't going for the illusion strat. But otherwise, you do have just, again, lead a fake out mon plus one of these threats like the Golden Go or Barbaracle. That can be nice. You could also lead Golden Go and Barbaracle because if you want to be like, oh, you want to threaten the Incineroars or the King Gambits, you could go for like a close combat immediately with Barbaracle and then try to set up a nasty plot with the Golden Go as well. So I think there's multiple ways that you are able to pilot it, and of course you can just scout for like, okay, what's the big threat, and then switch out into like Incineroar or Sinistra for one of them, and then just set up or dish out a bunch of damage with the other. So I think those are probably the best ways you are able to play around with the team. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creators, I'll link them down below in the description. Of course, Aaron's original video that showcases the Barbaracle in action. But otherwise, let's get started. Play some games with Barbaracle in Champions tier. We'll see if this is a good idea or not. All right, we have Garchomp, Incineroar, Basculegion, Golden Go, Charizard, and Whimsicott. So some Tailwind offense here. Okay. What am I bringing against this team is going to be a good question. I do like Barbaracle quite a bit against the Charizard, although against Golden Go can be a little bit rough, so something I'm going to have to consider here. I could lead like Incineroar plus Barbaracle, which isn't a terrible lead here, but I do have to consider like a bunch of other factors. I could lead the Zoroark here, but the problem is if I lead Zoroark, it's kind of a weird matchup here where it's like it's good in some of the ghost types, but there is a Tailwind, so it does make things a lot harder here. Just gotta make sure I have good answers to Basculegion. Basculegion's gonna be tough. Golden Go is also actually kind of difficult. I could lead Incineroar plus Barbaracle. It does seem like the most neutral lead across the board. It's only weak to maybe the Garchomp Whimsicott lead, which I guess you could lead if you're my opponent. I'm not 100% certain, but I do like the Incineroar. I do like the Barbaracle. And maybe it's just like hard support Barbaracle in this matchup. So I think it's probably Weavile plus Sinistra. Because I could see myself bring Zoroark, which is nice against Basculegion, but double fake out is also still pretty good against my opponent's team. Weavile kind of also helps out offensively against the Garchomp, which is solid. Maybe I should have led the Weavile, but the thing is, if I lead Weavile, I don't think it's that great if they lead like Whimsicott plus Charizard, while Incineroar is kind of more neutral against that and like imparting shot out. So let's see, because I could threaten triple Axel KO into Whimsicott and bypass Focus Sash, but we're gonna see Incineroar Charizard. Okay. So I don't think this is that bad of a lead for me, as I do lead Barbaracle plus Incin. They do have access to Solar Beam, however, which is obviously not super ideal here. I don't think you would spam Heat Wave if you're my opponent. Weavile is really just... I'm trying to figure out how I should position this, because maybe I should just... I'm debating about clicking Rock Slide immediately. I'm debating about just clicking Fake Out into Rock Slide. I could go into Weavile and Protect and then maybe try to Shell Smash. I think Weavile for the instant slot and just protecting isn't terrible here for me. Do I want a Mega Evolve? Because having the Water type might still be useful for pivoting here. I think I am just going to protect in regular form. Because the thing is, I could maybe switch into Heat Wave in like future turns or Flare Blitzes, so I think it's probably better not to Mega Evolve, at least this turn, until I'm certain when I'm attacking with Barbaracle. We do see a Mega Evolution from the Charizard. I imagine this is Solar Beam Fake Out into the Barbaracle. I think that's like your safest play if you're my opponent, but we'll see. Then I have access to Fake Out plus Rock Slide or Shell Smash. So let's see if this works. I do go for the Protect here with the Barbaracle. Okay, they fake out the instant slot. No way this is Heat Wave, right? Yeah, this is Solar Beam. Okay, that makes sense. Because I had like 2 Fire Resist on the field. So I was like, no way you're clicking a Heat Wave here. Okay, so I did lose the Sash with Weavile, but it's not like too bad. I have a few options I can go for. Like one, I could fake out the Charizard, click Rock Slide. That's an option. I could also like just triple Axel immediately, which is also another consideration. I feel that Charizard should probably Protect, but... maybe they hard switch out into Garchomp, or maybe they just click Solar Beam, because if I fake out the Incin, it's a bit greedy here. So I'm trying to figure out like, hey, do I click fake out or do I just click a fake out into Charizard, or do I go for like an attack here? Maybe I fake out the instant or something. I think I'm just going to go for fake out into Charizard, and I am just going to rock slide here. This also punishes Whimsicott if they decide to go Whimsicott, but they do protect the Charizard, so I could have went for the instant slot. Unfortunate here for me, but that's acceptable. I can still flinch the instant, and I'm still staying in regular form because I still think I could pivot the Barbaracle out later. So I do get a rock slide off into the instant, which is actually some pretty decent damage. Okay. And let's see what they decide to go for here. Flare Blitz and a Weavile. All right. Huh. I'm surprised they would have given me a Shell Smash, because I feel like if I got Shell Smash up, it's actually really tough for my opponent, but okay. I think this is fine. I'm gonna go out into Incineroar. Okay. I think now. Are you gonna leave the Charizard in? Are you gonna leave the Charizard in? I feel like the answer is no. I'm gonna go for Parting Shot into the Charizard, and I'm just gonna click Rock Slide here. I think that's completely fine. I don't think they're gonna let me fake out the Charizard, click Rock Slide. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna see what the third Pokemon is. Whimsicott. Okay, perfect. So I do get a Parting Shot off in a Whims and a Rock Slide, which is kind of big actually. So I do get the Rock Slide, pretty good damage to instant, and I will be able to get a Parting Shot off in the Whims. Sure, I could have taken a knockout with Flare Blitz, but then that invites their own Charizard coming in. So they go for Parting Shot into my instant, and I guess they're bringing out... Oh, I guess they bring out their own Zard, but I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Bask. Okay, that actually works out pretty well for me, because I do get the Parting Shot off into the Whimsicott. They haven't taken a knockout yet, so I actually have an interesting position that I could go for. I'm debating about clicking Shell Smash plus Matcha Gotcha here. Or I could just attack realistically. I could also Trick Room here, and Trick Room's not bad. Do I just Trick Room? I think Trick Room is pretty good here. I can't really see a big fault with just going for a Trick Room Rock Slide here. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for Rock Slide Trick Room. I think that's pretty alright here, because then next turn I could switch to Instant for Sinistra and be in a pretty good spot. And yeah, they switch out Whimsicott, which is fine, into Instant to get another round of Intimidate. I can go into my own Instant, which is fine. And I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. They last respect my Sinistra, but it doesn't really do too much damage. Yeah. So we get Rock Slide. Some pretty good damage on their side. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this spot. Sun is still up for one more turn, if I'm not mistaken. Trick Room goes up. I can go Instant. I can click Rock Slide. Feeling pretty alright here. Yeah, so I'm going to switch to my own Instant here, and I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide. They could Fake Out, Last Respect, Fake Out Wave Crash. All of those are completely fine. I'm getting chip damage into Bass to put in range of my Instant Dark type move. I'm feeling really good about this offensive, because even though I haven't set up a Shell Smash with Barbaracle, it's still kind of doing work under this Trick Room. We're going to see Whimsicott come in? Okay, that's fine. Because I'm still spamming Rock Slide plus like Throat Chop into the Bask, which is still pretty good. And the Bask is about to be intimidated, so it's -1. It's really not doing any damage on to my field right here. Yeah, they protect. It's kind of passive here, because now they can't use to protect the following turn. So I have a pretty safe Rock Slide plus Throat Chop into the Bask slot the next turn. And that'll do a lot of damage. It might KO even if they bring in the Instant, but even if they bring in their own Instant, that's fine. So I'm going to go for Throat Chop into the Bask. They have to fight their Rock Slide flinch, and they would have to give up their Incineroar here on the Rock Slide. So I'm feeling pretty good about this spot. Yeah, they're going to retreat Whims to get an Instant for the Intimidate. That makes sense. I could have Parting Shot, but I don't really feel like I need the Parting Shot. I feel like I just need offense right here. Like, getting rid of the Bask is pretty nice if I can. So, Throat Chop does some pretty good damage to the Bask. Rock Slide, did we connect? We do connect, so that's beautiful. I am able to connect. And, yeah, we're just doing damage with regular Barbaracle at this point. And it's actually putting in a lot of work. Incineroar goes down, and the Bask is going to go for Wave Crash. Oh, it flinches. And, yeah, they did have to also fight through flinch as well. So, feeling pretty good about this spot. Let's see who they bring in next. This is Charizard. How many Intimidates has my Barbaracle taken? Like 3? Yeah. I wonder if they Solar Beam here, because one play I do have access to is just going for a parting shot into the Charizard and swapping out into Sinistra. And I kind of don't mind this because I get to reset the Barbaracle, and right now, I think they're attacking with Charizard, protecting Bask, yeah. Because they don't want to take a Throw Chop here because Instant super safe. So I am going to be able to get a parting shot into Charizard. Even if I lose Sinistra this turn, it's not even that bad because I can still threaten Rock Slides after. So this is looking pretty solid. Like, Rock Slide Throw Chop is looking pretty good. And if Sinistra survives, I just get to click Matcha Gotcha plus Rock Slide. So I feel pretty good about my spot. They Solar Beam. If this is Solar Beam into what was the Sinistra, golden, but did they read the switch? Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Now we just click Rock Slide. I guess we can Mega Evolve now. Yeah, we can Mega Evolve now for the extra damage into the... Because I'm thinking they're probably going to switch out into the Whimsicott. So I'm going to go for Rock Slide plus Matcha Gotcha. They actually retreat to Charizard. I thought they were going to retreat to Bass. So I might KO the Whimsicott because I'm pretty sure Sinistra outspeeds, KOs the Basky Legion, and then it's a single target Rock Slide. So I think I'm actually in a guaranteed game-winning spot. So Mega Barbaracle will come out. Click Rock Slide, Matcha Gotcha. Perfect, we don't miss. So if we hit the Rock Slide, we guarantee win. Goodbye, Basky Legion. It goes down. I think even if Basky Legion got a hit off earlier, my Instant was going to be surviving because it was intimidated from the Bask. And then I would have been able to eat my Citrus Berry. So I feel like I would have still been pretty alright regardless. We get a burn on Whimsicott. It shouldn't matter as long as we hit the Rock Slide. And we could also like just go for Rage Powder Rock Slides at this point. So nice, perfect. We hit the Rock Slide here into Whimsicott. Does take the knockout into Whimsicott. And now it's Charizard by itself. And I'm feeling pretty good about this position because Charizard by itself should not be able to win. And they do realize that end forfeit. So really strange beginning. But I had an idea where I was able to set up Trick Room. And as you see, Trick Room was really good there. Alright, we have Raichu, Staraptor, Garchomp, Golden Go, Hisuian Arcanine, and Grimmsnarl. Alright. What am I going against this team? Do I go with Zork? I am tempted to lead off the Zork here. Golden Go is really, really good as well. Because this Golden Go is pretty offensive. And I can threaten powerful Shadow Ball, which is nice. The thing is, am I faster than theirs? Which is going to be a good question. I think I'm going to lead Zork plus Gold. And I'm going to disguise the Zork as Barbaracle. Did I bring Weavile? It's a pretty decent mon here, but I don't think I need to. I really like the idea of leading Gold plus Zork because they don't have immediate speed control other than maybe the Raichu, but I can Icy Wind, which is kind of big. And then I think I do like Instant Barbaracle as the last. I want this guy Zorak as Barbaracle because I could bait close combat if they lead Staraptor. I don't know if they're bringing Staraptor or they're going to Raichu mode because it looks like dual Mega. They have 3 potential Megas: Garchomp, Staraptor, and Raichu. I don't know if Staraptor's amazing into my team, but it is like one of the few Intimidate mods. Usually a lot of the Hisuian Arcanines I feel like tend to be Rockhead in the format. So I'm kind of curious if they'll go to Staraptor for the Intimidate as well as like the coverage against Sinistra Instant. But let's see. They're also on a pretty big win streak, so let's see what my opponent decides to go with. Raichu Staraptor. Ooh, okay. Alright, so we have our Barbaracle and our Golden Go. I'm thinking Hyper Voice here. Nasty Plot is pretty good. I do like Hyper Voice here, I think. I'm definitely clicking Hyper Voice. The question, because I can't Icy Wind the Staraptor because of Contrary. If it's Final Gambit, it doesn't matter. The Raichu's a little bit annoying. Do I click Shadow Ball immediately or do I just make it rain? Hyper Voice I feel like doesn't two-shot Raichu. That's my only concern. I'm gonna Nasty Plot here because they don't really threaten the Golden Go offensively here. So we're gonna see Staraptor retreat into the Garchomp, which is fine. I do get a pretty decent Hyper Voice off. They are gonna Mega Evolve Raichu, so it's not Mega Staraptor. Ooh, okay. Where's the Zap Cannon going? I'm hoping it's into Zoroark more than it is the Golden Go. Hyper Voice gonna come out. Good damage. Okay, it is into Barbaracle, which is fine. That actually works out probably better. So it actually just one-shots the Zoroark, so I think it has probably a good amount of special attack investment. Zoroark will faint, but that's fine. As we do get a nasty plot up with our Golden Go. And now we could go Incin, which is pretty decent here. So I'm gonna lead off with Incin, and I guess like the problem is if I lose gold, I'm a little bit worried about how Staraptor will play out, but I think this is okay in general. I feel like this is always double protect here. Because if I fake out the Raichu and make it rain, I feel like it's a terrible spot for them, but we'll see. I'm going to go Barbaracle, and I'm actually just going to click make it rain. Yeah, I'm going to click make it rain. Let's see, do they have Stomping Tantrum? Oh, we see the Garchomp switch out, which is actually good for me. Grimmsnarl. Okay, I get rid of Grimmsnarl. That's actually pretty decent. Okay. Also, if the Raichu attacks my instant slot for some reason, I do get the KO. That's actually a pretty decent spot for me. Okay, that's fine. Assuming we get the attack off. Nice, no misses. I do get to make it rain off. I do get the KO into the Grimmsnarl and the Raichu. Okay, I don't feel awful about this spot. It's not the greatest though, because now they do have access to the Staraptor, which I'm a little bit concerned about. However, getting rid of these Pokemon, denying screens, is going to be pretty important. And now Staraptor is going to come in, I think. Now it's kind of a call, I think, for my opponent, whether they close combat the Barbaracle slot or they close combat the Golden Go slot. Because I have two plays I could go for here. One is to go for a Protect with Barbaracle switch to Incin, or I could go for Shell Smash with Barbaracle and Protect Gold. And the thing is, it depends heavily on where the Staraptor targets. If they close combat the Golden Go slot raiding the Incin, I have to go with an attack with my Barbaracle. But if they do the opposite route, I think it's really important. I think it's Protect switch to Incin, because Staraptor should be faster than Garchomp, and I get this Intimidate off before the contrary happens. So it's -1 attack on the Staraptor at the very least. This is close because I could also go the other. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, they can't Mega Evolve Staraptor. Right. I'm silly. Okay. Garchomp goes for Earthquake, which is fine. Do I stay in regular form, or who do I fake out? Probably just a Garchomp. It's Life Orb Garchomp. Okay. Heal with Citrus Berry. Okay, the Staraptor can't knock out the Incin. They close combat, they target down my Barbaracle. Okay, I think the play is to always target down the Garchomp. We Mega Evolve. Go for Shell Smash. And fake out Garchomp. I think this is always the play. Because neutral Staraptor, like just Staraptor close combat from non-Mega Evolve, especially with Intimidate, should not do that much damage to Barbaracle. So let's see. I guess it could be Scarf on the Staraptor, which is something I didn't consider. Actually, no, we know it's not Staraptor because Garchomp moved before, so I'm fine with that, yeah. The Garchomp protects, which is fine. We do see the Protect come out. We're going to see Brave Bird, okay, but that's neutral, so that doesn't really change anything. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty sure Barbaracle just wins at this point. Barbaracle gets a Shell Smash up, and Barbaracle is set up beautifully here. I guess I get a Tailwind with Staraptor, because what I want to do is I want to protect my... I think I just want to protect switch to Gold. If they Tailwind, they're probably going to Earthquake, so that's fine, because then I get another round of... No, that's fine, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Because then I could fake out and Shell Smash again, I think. So I sack Gold here to get another round of Intimidate off. They do go for the Earthquake once again. Perfect. Beautiful. They take an extra turn of Life Orb, which is actually kind of important for my upcoming plans. And they go for close combat here, or did they Tailwind? If they have Roost, it doesn't matter here. Okay, they just close combat. Perfect. So I think Barbaracle lives to close combat. I still think I go for Rock Slide plus Fake Out here into the Staraptor. I could Fake Out the Staraptor as well. There's like a lot that I could do here realistically, but I do think that Rock Slide plus the Fake Out is pretty safe into the Garchomp. Because Staraptor shouldn't knock out Barbaracle after 2 Intimidates, even though the Shell Smash drop, but I think I'm still fine. Let's see. They probably double protect here realistically. Yeah. Now the question is, are they going to go for a double protect? Because my play here, I'm thinking, is going for close combat in the Garchomp, so I don't have to risk the Rock Slide here. But if they go for a double protect, actually no, if they go for a double protect, it's fine. Because if they get the double protect, I still think I live to close combat from Staraptor. So I think my best play is still to close combat the Garchomp. And then they go for a close combat with Staraptor. They'll be -1 defense, which means I probably Throat Chop. Or do I think Flare Blitz is enough to KO? Flare Blitz might be enough to KO at -1. Let's see. Who do they protect? They also might try to double protect with Staraptor, but if they don't go for a double protect, I think they just lose. So I do get the KO on Garchomp. Let's see if the close combat KOs. I think now it should, because I took Rough Skin and the defense drop. If the Garchomp went for a double protect and got it, I'm pretty sure like I would survive. But oh, they close combat the instant as well. Okay. You know what? I'll take it. I think they were hoping for just a Rock Slide and hoping Staraptor dodged and was able to double up with Earthquake, Life Orb, plus the close combat into instant. And yeah, I do KO the Staraptor after the close combat. So nice, beautiful. All right, Barbaracle on board. Was a bit of a spooky situation against the Raichu, but you know what? I was able to get a huge double knockout and set up Barbaracle in a good endgame. All right, we're going to see the Grimmsnarl, Swampert, Pelipper, Archaludon, Sylveon, and Venusaur. So, okay, this matchup's spooky for sure, but I think Golden Go is really, really good here. And I mean really good. Okay. So, I don't know if this is a Barbaracle game realistically. I think it's kind of rough for Barbaracle realistically. I can find a way to position a setup. I mean, it's good in Archaludon, which is nice for the close combat, but otherwise, like, it's pretty rough to actually do stuff against, like, a Swampert that threatens Earthquake. But I think they probably go Venusaur. I don't know. You could bring Eater. Actually, no. I think Swampert might be better, but I could see them bring Venusaur too. I think Golden Go is probably the way to go. Golden Go Instant just seems really good against my opponent in general. Then what do I want afterward? Do I want double Fake Out? I don't think I need double Fake Out against this team. I definitely want to bring Sinistcha, that's for sure. And you know what? We're bringing Barbaracle. We're bringing Barbaracle. Just having a backup instead of just relying on the gold, I think is still pretty good because it's kind of tough. Depends on like if gold is going to be in a position to actually clean up this team because there's going to be screens available. I think I could definitely set up a Barbaracle late game cleanup as well. So let's see. Swampert, Pelipper. So this works out pretty well for me. As I do lead Instant plus Golden Go. This is Weather Ball Earthquake here. Or maybe Wave Crash. Both are acceptable here. So I'm debating about what I click here because I have multiple options. I could Fake Out immediately Shadow Ball to threaten the KO into Pelipper. I don't think they're protecting the Pelipper at least. I actually think that's not too bad. Because getting rid of the Rain user I think is pretty good. And Pelipper is one of the hardest Pokemon for me to switch in Sinistcha. So you know what? I'm going to go for Fake Out Shadow Ball. Earthquake won't KO me and I still can heal with Sinistcha. They could Wave Crash my Instant, which isn't ideal, but like at least they take a bunch of recoil and response, so I don't think that's too bad. I'll also live Wave Crash after the Intimidate, I feel. So Fake Out going to come out into the Pelipper. Let's see what they click here. It's just Earthquake, yeah. So this shouldn't do... This is going to hurt, but it's not going to KO by far. Yeah. Okay. Citrus with Instant. That's massive. And hopefully Life Orb Shadow Ball KOs this Pelipper. Okay, not enough. But that is good damage in the Pelipper. It is citrus. It's a bulky citrus berry. Okay. I don't know. They could Earthquake, Hurricane the instant slot, which I'm very worried about. But I am going to protect Golden Go, switch to Sinistra here. Ooh, okay. This is actually kind of rough now. This is kind of rough. I was really hoping for the KO into Pelipper, but yeah, it being bulky makes sense. We will get the Golden Go healed up a bit and have Protect on the board, but yeah, Rain is going to be difficult. They go for Earthquake once again. Understandable. Let's see. Weather Ball. Nah, good play. It's Hurricane. Yep. I should live, though. Oh, barely, actually. That was way closer than I thought. Oh, boy. This is very bad. Yeah, I can't really do much here. I think I need to figure out a way to set up my Barbaracle as quick as possible. And even if I set up Barbaracle, it's still pretty tough. I'm trying to figure out about what's the best option here. It's probably... I might have to risk damage on either Instant or Barbaracle at this point. I think I'm going to go Instant for this slot, go Barbaracle for the other. But yeah, this is looking pretty rough. I need to find a way to set up Barbaracle, and even then, I don't know if I can beat... If I can get rid of Swampert, maybe there's a chance. But yeah, this is not looking good. So I get Intimidate off, so it's now -2 Earthquake, so I'll take the Earthquake. I'm hoping that they Hurricane, potentially the Barbaracle slot, so I can get Recovery, but we'll see. That's a lot of damage. Is it Weather Ball? Oh, if they Tailwind, that actually makes it easier. Okay. Okay, Tailwind actually makes this easier. Because now I have access to Fake Out plus Shell Smash if I want to. I need to figure out a way to get 2 potentially. I think I'm forced to go Sinistra here. And protect my Barbaracle. Let's see if they swap out Swampert. I could see Swampert swapping, but they're going to stay in, which is good for me. I'm going to sack Sinistra, get the Hospitality recover, and then have access to Fake Out plus Shell Smash. That's kind of the idea here. Okay. We have to stay in regular form because we can't risk them wave crashing on the Barbaracle because that would lose me the game. So, okay. Sinistra goes down, acceptable. Or could I could have tried to figure out a way that I could Shell Smash against the Pelipper while the rain is gone. That would have also been really good, but yeah, we have to go instant now. And we're clicking Fake Out into Shell Smash. Yeah, I have to go for this Fake Out into Shell Smash like I have no other play. Oh boy. Okay. It's winnable, but it's looking pretty rough. It also depends on the Swampert too. On the bright side, it's probably not Grim in the back, but on the downside, Sylveon's still kind of an annoying Pokemon to deal with. Let's see if they go for Earthquake or they switch out here. If they switch out, this gives me momentum. Okay. Our Chaldon is revealed. Okay. So it's not easy, but like this is acceptable because there's no rain up now. And because there's no rain, this is actually like doable. We do get the Shell Smash up with Barbaracle. I need to check something with Barbaracle real quick. I mean, I do get a speed boost to KO our Chaldon with close combat, which is probably worth it. I just need to make sure that my speed order is correct. But yeah, I can close combat now, which is pretty good. So I'm going to go for Parting Shot into the Pelipper, and I'm going to go for close combat. I'm just going to hope that they don't go for Raw Hurricanes into Barbaracle, and I'm hoping I'm faster than our Chaldon with the Mega Evolution. So we do see Pelipper retreat, which makes sense. Going to be out into Sylveon. Okay, that makes sense as well. I need to figure out a way to get some damage into Sylveon. I do have Life Orb Make It Rain, but there is the Pelipper that's still lurking in the back. So, I don't know. This is doable, but still rough. Okay, no protects. Don't be sturdy, but it shouldn't be sturdy on this team. Beautiful. So I get rid of Arch. That is massive. Okay. Our Chowdon gone. I'm able to get Parting Shot off into Sylveon. And now this is the last of our Tailwind, so Golden Go can come in and threaten Make It Rain. I could also go for Close Combat Shadow Ball. Tailwind Peter's out. This is Pelipper coming in. If they go Swampert, I think they lose to me clicking Make It Rain Close Combat, and it looks like that's the case because I'm pretty sure Barbaracle outspeeds the Swampert barely. Or, yeah. Actually, wait, does this speed type Swampert? Oh, please tell me it's not speed type. Well, I have to go for it regardless. I have to go for it. I also need Close Combat to KO at +2. I think it should. Tough Claws Close Combat. I think that should KO Swampert at +2. And if Swampert protects, this is Life Orb Make It Rain. So let's see. Make It Rain. Okay, thank goodness we hit. This is Life Orb. Should KO. Yeah. If we weren't Life Orb, it wouldn't have KO'd, but because we're Life Orb, we KO. Oh, we got a crit, but I don't think that probably matters. Like, Life Orb Make It Rain is really strong. Okay. I'm debating if it's worth going Instant here, but if they Tailwind, I just lose. So I think I just have to... And even if I switch an Instant, I think I still go down to the Earthquake regardless with both. So actually, do I go down with Barbaracle? Barbaracle has base 130 defense. But they could go for a double protect and then Pelipper could Tailwind. No, but I could fake out then. I still think my best play... I'm debating about the odds whether it's worth just going for a Close Combat switch to Instant or Close Combat to Shadow Ball. I think Shadow Ball is probably better into Pelipper because I also be Pelipper, KO it, and then Close Combat. I'm just going to Close Combat to Swampert. If this is a speed type, it's a speed type, but... Nice. Close Combat comes out into Swampert. It does KO the Swampert. Beautiful. Oh, critical hit. I don't think that matters generally unless they have a lot of bulk, but that requires a... I don't even know. That's Tough Claws base 140 attack +2. I really don't think that matters, but I'll double check a calc anyway. So what is the calc? Barbaracle versus Mega Swampert. I feel like we KO. I really don't think the crit matters. I really don't. Max attack, adamant, Tough Claws, close combat does a lot of damage. Oh yeah, it 100% didn't matter. Even if the Swampert's like max HP, which is a not set on Mega Swampert. A close combat does 137 min to max HP Mega Swampert. Yeah, maybe I'm underestimating the damage of Mega Barbaracle, but yeah, like I didn't think those mattered. All right, we have Houndstone, Tyranitar, Farigiraf, the Mega Froslass, Sneasler, and Como. Okay. So Houndstone's pretty interesting. We used it recently on the channel. It was actually really good. Will-O-Wisp Ally Switch actually made it a pretty incredible mon. Golden Go is really good against their team because they only really have Tyranitar and Froslass. And I guess Como if it has a fire move, but if it doesn't have a fire move, it's in a lot of trouble. So Gold might be a really good lead here. Like Gold Instant is just like pretty hard to punish, I think, in general, because they don't have a good switch. I could also just lead to Zoroark. Zoroark immediately isn't too bad against my opponent's team either. Do I want Weavile in this game? It's like okay. If I low kick, it'd probably be better, but I don't think I need it. I kind of like Zoroark a bit more. I think I'm gonna just go with Incineroar, Golden Go as the lead, have Barbaracle, Zoroark in the back. It's really weird because I could do multiple different combinations at once, but I kind of like the idea of this. I don't think I want to disguise Zoroark because I actually think Zoroark's a good utility mon to keep in the back because it always just makes sure that I don't get like swept by Houndstone. I like having Barbaracle to pressure Tyranitar as well as after Shell Smash it pressures the Froslass. And then I just like Zoroark as Icy Wind Speed control for Como. So we're going to see Como plus Froslass immediately. Okay. Which is fine. I'm gonna go for a parting shot, I think. Do I want a parting shot immediately? Parting shot's pretty decent here. I could fake out, plus make it rain. I can parting shot here. I kind of like parting shot. I'm liking parting shot go to Zorak here, because this covers Shadow Ball from the Frostlass. Then I have Scarf Icy Wind and make it rain, which seems really powerful against my opponent. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for here. So I bring out Zorak. It's undisguised. Maybe I should have kept it disguised as like the Barbaracle, but they're about to see like if they go for Shadow Ball. But I guess if they go for Aurora Veil, then it's probably it would have been better for something else. But I don't think you can. Can you afford to Aurora Veil here? Losing Frostlass is like one of the few ways you hit gold. So let's see. Oh, they protected. I could have faked out Make It Rain or Nasty Plot. Unfortunate. Oh, they have Flamethrower. Okay, that makes more sense. That did so much. Life Orb Como. Ooh, okay. That's some fun text here. Okay. I don't think this is too bad though. I don't think they're gonna Flamethrower the instant slot. I think this is probably like Blizzard or Spear, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually gonna go for an Icy Wind plus a Heart Swap instant. And the reason I'm gonna do this is because I could see myself get a position where Make It Rain from Golden Ghost threatening a double KO. And then I could go for Barbaracle, Shell Smash into Make It Rain. And it pretty much just allows Barbaracle to set up properly. So that's my goal here. Let's see if it works. Icy Wind comes out. Blizzard's gonna come out, not surprising. KOs the Zorak, doesn't do that much of gold. This should be Aura Spear, hopefully, if it's Life Orb. So Zorak goes down. Oh, Clanging Scales is fine too. I don't mind that. As long as Golden Go was not threat to my Flamethrower, that's pretty much all I needed. Okay, beautiful. And the Como has taken so much damage. Now we get to go out in the Barbaracle, and we get to click Shell Smash into Make It Rain. And I'm probably certain that I'm guaranteed faster than Frostlass with gold, because this gold is really fast. So I can go for Make It Rain here and Shell Smash. Do I want to Mega Evolve is a question. I don't think so. Yeah, because the typings don't matter. And I guess if I miss Frostlass, then at least I resist Blizzard. It's like my only thing. So Shell Smash here. And oh, Vacuum Wave. Did a decent chunk, but it's still fine because I still survive. I'm surprised it's Vacuum Wave, but okay. Make It Rain connects thankfully with both, so I get the KO here with both. Beautiful. And then Shell Smash comes out. They don't have any other priority moves. I guess the Houndstone, if it's Jolly, could be weird. I'm pretty sure Adamant Houndstone I do outspeed pretty easily. It's only Jolly that makes this a little bit awkward, but let's find out. We do get a Shell Smash off. Okay. And then this is it Tyranitar Houndstone back? I'm kind of curious what their last is. Tyranitar comes in. It is Houndstone, okay. My best play here is just to go instant and protect. Yeah, it's instant protect. The Ally Switch is actually kind of annoying the next couple of turns. Ally Switch is going to be annoying for the next couple of turns because I'm going to have to read potential Ally Switches, Will-O-Wisp. There's a lot of mind games that the Houndstone player has. And even if they don't have the tech of Ally Switch, I still have to like be very cautious because I have to consider it. So we will protect Barbaracle and switch to Instant. What did they click here? Last Respect in the Barbaracle. That makes sense. Rock Slide. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if they can give me the double up into Houndstone. And I could also Rock Slide here. Rock Slide isn't too bad against my opponent either. Ah, this is where... If I could stall out Sand turns, I'd be guaranteed to win here as well. I kind of want to just click Rock Slide. I think the best play here is just to Throat Chop the Houndstone and Rock Slide. Because after getting the Fighting type, I don't go down to Rock Slide from Tyranitar. And if I KO Houndstone, then Gold should be able to beat the Tyranitar, so I'm gonna go for Throat Chop and a Rock Slide here. I also have chances to flinch my opponent as well. This kind of half-baked covers Ally Switch, because I can still flinch a T-Tar too. And I need the Rock Slide damage to put the Houndstone into Throat Chop range, because that thing actually has good physical defense. So let's see, we'll Mega the Barbaracle for the speed and the attack boost. Shadow Sneak, okay, that's fine. I wish I closed combat, but this still works. We hit, good. Oh my goodness. That did way more than I expected. Oh, we crit the Houndstone, but it's Sash anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Rock Slide, we survive a Barbaracle. Could get a bit spooky. Because if Vincent gets the Throat Chop off, I guarantee win. Nice. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Oh, I was so worried about potential flinch there. But if there's a flinch, I don't think it's too bad. I think I would just sack Incin and then have Gold next to Barbaracle, and they can only Shadow Sneak one. And assuming I hit either to make it rains or Rock Slides, I think I win. But now I just guarantee win here because I can close combat Parting Shot. And I guess it's not technically guaranteed because... Actually, no, it is guaranteed because Tyranitar doesn't have priority move. Barbaracle just outspeeds, so nice. I knew Barbaracle was good. All right, we have Sneasler, Blastoise, Incineroar, Eternal Floette, King Gambit, and the Sinistra. Oh, the Blastoise is gonna be a annoying mon to deal with. That mon is never fun to deal with. Okay. Gold is looking pretty good, but there is the Gambit, although I do have Barbaracle. What's the lead here? Because I don't know if they're going to lead Gambit or if they're going to lead like one of Blastoise or Floette. It's probably Shell Smash Blastoise. I assume Calm Mind on the Floette. Gold is just a generally pretty fair bring here. I don't think I need Weavile, although Triple Axle seems pretty nice against the Sash potential on the Sneasler. I don't think I need it. Do I bring Zoroark? Zoroark could get like a surprise, like I could lead Zoroark plus Golden Go and then make it rain and threaten a lot of damage. Which could be really good here. But I think I want to go with Gold, Barbaracle, Incin, Sinistra. Let's see if this works or not, because there's a lot to consider. Blastoise is such a big threat, but I just don't know if the Zoroark is just going to be enough to handle them. All right. What is your bring here? Going to be the lead of Sneasler, Blastoise. Okay, so if I let the Zoroark, I think I was in a really good spot, but this isn't too bad. I bring out Barbaracle and Golden Go. And I think I just go with Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball go Incin seems like my best play here. Or I could go out into my Sinistra too. Sinistra's not bad either. I could go for Shadow Ball. Or I have to Shadow Ball the Blastoise. I need the damage into Blastoise. And then I think I go into Sinistra. Or I could go Incin, which gives me Fake Out support, which isn't bad either. But I could also just immediately threaten Rage Powder the following turn. So I'm actually liking Sinistra a bit more here. We're gonna see Sneasler retreat. Okay, into Incineroar. That's fine. Okay. So we do get Sinistra in. I'm assuming last mon is their Sinistra at this point. Oh, they protect Blastoise. Actually, this works out because I threaten Matcha Gotcha now plus Shadow Ball. Yeah, this actually works. Or I could also go Incin for the Golden Go, because I think they would click Dark Pulse in this situation. I can Matcha Gotcha, but the problem is... I mean, I do survive Dark Pulse because I do have the Cobra Berry. I think my best place to go Incin. I think Incin Matcha Gotcha makes so much sense here. Okay, let's see what they go for here. Incineroar coming in. I wonder if they brought Flood because they didn't Mega Ball the Blastoise immediately. And you want to Mega Ball Blastoise to usually get the boost. Okay, we are going to see a retreat from Blastoise into Sneasler. So I have a chance for a Matcha Gotcha burn. Let's see. Matcha Gotcha into Sneasler. Breaks a potential Sash, which it probably is. I get some damage into the Incin. We do get the burn, which is nice. And they go for Flare Blitz into the gold. Perfect. So I didn't set up there, which is super ideal. I'm in a really good spot now. And now I have a few different options. I think I probably just want to go for Parting Shot into Incin. Yeah, I like the idea of Parting Shot into Incin. And then I think I want to just Life Dew. Because I could Trick Room here. Trick Room's not a bad option. I could go Barbaracle as well. If they fake out the Incin and Parting Shot, it could get a little bit strange, though. I think Life Dew is pretty reasonable here. Because I get to heal up the Incin if they click Close Combat. But if they fake out, it's fine. Okay? Because I want Sinistcha around because it currently just prevents the Blastoise from really being able to set up against me. So we go for the Life Dew. We get some recovery with the Incin. So we're back to full. They Flare Blitz immediately. That's fine. Okay. And Incin is slower than their Incin, which is still fine. I could also find a position in Nasty Plot and be in a really good spot. I'm actually going to Parting Shot the Incin, and I'm going to go out on a Barbaracle now. Alright. I don't think this is too bad. I would have preferred going Barbaracle earlier. This is Dire Claw, Throat Chop, or Parting Shot? They Poison Jab. Okay, because they're usually Poison Touch on this team, which makes sense. Yeah, like it was probably going to happen. It's like very likely. I think it's over 50% if I'm not mistaken. They do Flare Blitz double up. So this is good actually because Barbaracle is actually in a pretty comfortable spot to potentially set up here with Shell Smash and then run away with the game. So we will go for a Parting Shot here into the Incin. And now I have a few options. I could go for Close Combat to Incin plus Shadow Ball. Like both are actually really good here. So I'm feeling pretty decent about this spot. I could also go for... There's so many plays. I could also go into Sinistcha to get some recovery. But I do like the gold plan, I think. Is it Gambit back? I think it's into gold, though. I think gold just makes so much sense. We got the burn early on the Sneasler, so we should be comfortable here. Close Combat and the Shadow Ball seems like my play always. Or I can Nasty Plot. Actually, Nasty Plot's pretty safe with gold. And go for Close Combat into Incin. I guess if the last one's Gambit, we'll have an interesting spot, but this has to be Sinistcha, right? Yeah. Okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Gold is set up pretty well here. And even if they Close Combat the Barbaracle, like, it's not too bad because the Incin's weakened, and at this point, Shadow Ball with Life Orb is so threatening to my opponent. Like, what's their switch into it? So I like this spot a lot. They go for Close Combat, that's fine. Yeah, I knew I would live that plus Poison, although I guess I risked a crit. That was maybe unnecessary, but Nasty Plot here is so good because I also outspeed the Blastoise, and I think +2 Life Orb from max special attack Golden Go should KO the Blastoise. So Close Combat's going to fail, which is fine. Now I guess I switch to Sinistcha here. Yeah, I switch to Sinistcha and Shadow Ball. Because I want to have the Intimidate on the... I want to have the Intimidate still remaining. They could Poison Jab my Barbaracle slot, but that's fine if they do. So bring out Sinistcha. They protect Sinistcha, which is fine. I'm not really too worried about the Sneasler at the moment. I want to get rid of Rage Powder Mon. Good play. That one is a little bit annoying, but still... Maybe I should have Nasty Plotted again. I think Nasty Plot again might have been better. But Sinistcha looks like it lives the next Poison Jab barely, so I can spam Life Dew for the recovery. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball into the Sinistcha, and I'm just going to Life Dew. They can't really go Incin. Shadow Ball should get the knockout, so we're going to go for Life Dew here and Shadow Ball. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to retreat to Incin, like, that's still fine. Because you're taking a lot of damage. Because this is a Life Orb Shadow Ball. Okay, I think I lived this. Yep. And I do get the Life Dew. So here comes a Shadow Ball into Incin. Look at all that damage. Yep, 40%. And we also get to heal the Life Orb Recall. Okay, it's Citrus Berry. That's fine. I think my best play is just to click Nasty Plot the following turn and Rage Powder. Actually, do I live the next poison? I don't live the next poison. Okay. Make It Rain is slightly stronger than Shadow Ball. So I could go for a Life or Make It Rain. Because it would KO Incin. So like here's the thing. I can Rage Powder here because that prevents, if they decide, hey, I'm going to stay in with Incin, I KO and Sneasel, I KO the Incin. But if they go Sinistra for the Sneasel, I at least redirect the Flare Blitz and I get a huge Life or Make It Rain off. So they're going to give me the Life or Make It Rain. I should get a double knockout. And then I think next turn I'm feeling I'm good, but I guess it could still be spooky. We see Poison Jab into Sinistra. Oh, it doesn't take the knockout, which I'm actually a bit shocked by. So Make It Rain will come out. Yeah, I do KO Incin after that because Make It Rain is like slightly stronger than the Shadow Ball. So we do KO Incin, and now we're back to neutral, but I can go for Fake Out plus... I can go for Fake Out plus Shell Smash or Nasty Plot, and then I feel like I'm in a good spot, but we'll see. Sinistra goes down. Maybe I did mess this up, though, because Barbaracle is going to go down to one big hit. I think I still always go Incin, though. Because I need to Fake Out into Nasty Plot. So Blastoise is going to come in with Sinistra on deck. I want to say that Life Orb Make It Rain or +2 still gets the KO into Sinistra. Oh, this is going to be super close. But yeah, we click Nasty Plot for sure with gold and we click Fake Out. I still think I always click Make It Rain though, because the Blastoise's only attack move usually is going to be the... what's it called? Water Spout, so I should be good here, but let's see. Fake Out gonna come out of Blastoise. This is Life Dew, I imagine? Because every bit of damage on Blastoise actually does matter. We do get the Nasty Plot, so this is +2 gold. They matcha gotcha. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think my best play here is just to click Make It Rain Throat Chop here into the Blastoise. If they click Shell Smash, we're good. I guess they could protect with Blastoise and Sinistra could go for... well, even if they do that, that's fine. Yeah, they have to Rage Powder because if I Shadow Ball the Blastoise, they just lose. So I'm assuming this has to be Shell Smash. Please hit both. Okay, nice. Make It Rain, Life Orb. It does delete Sinistra. The Blastoise is too low, and then I do win with Throat Chop. And if they Shell Smash and if they have an attack, I mean, that's fine. Right? Very sure they don't have a way to win? Yeah, they're forced to Shell Smash. But the thing is, they're usually Water Spout, Dark Pulse, protect Shell Smash. So they shouldn't have been able to touch the Incin afterward. Because even if they're +2, they were so weakened at that point that the Incin was healthy enough to live a +2 Water Spout when they're at 20%. So it's like the base power is just too low. So nice. Okay. I think I gave them a bit too many openings in the mid game, but I really liked how I played my early game, and my late game still ended up working out pretty well. All right, we have Incineroar, Mimikyu with Camerupt, Sylveon, Basculegion, and Farigiraf. Okay. Isn't this completely fine, matchup-wise? I think it is. Yeah, I feel like this matchup just generally is okay, because what I could do is I could lead, because, well, they do have Farigiraf, but I think it's fine. I wonder if they live Hyper Voice Make It Rain, because I feel like every Farigiraf has to be bold, because if they're not bold, they just go down to Charizard. Or not Charizard, they go down to Wave Crash from Basculegion, but who knows, they do have Intimidate. Trying to figure out what my best combination here is. I'm thinking it's like Zoroark with Golden Go and disguise the Zoroark as Barbaracle. I don't hate that plan. I think I do Zork, Golden Go, Instant Barbaracle, because if I get the knockout into Farigiraf with Hyper Voice, Life Orb, Make It Rain, it's good, but I just don't know if I will. It's going to be super close, I think. I think this is generally fine, but we'll see. This, if I don't get the KO, it's going to be really rough steering. It might be like a really bad spot, but let's see. I think I'm willing to try it out because right now, the stalling out this Trick Room is going to be a little bit weird. I could bring my own Sinistra, but against Camerupt, it's kind of awkward. So, Instant Farig does lead out here, which I'm not surprised. Versus the Barbaracle and the Golden Go. I am going to just go for Hyper Voice plus Make It Rain here. And let's see if that works. Because it is Life Orb, Make It Rain, so this should do a good amount of damage. I want to say it does, but we'll find out. Life Orb, Make It Rain plus Hyper Voice. How much damage does this do? Will this KO the Giraffe? Okay, no Fake Out, but that's smart for my opponent. That Hyper Voice did a lot. I feel like Make It Rain does get it. Come on. Life Orb Gold, Make It Rain? Yes, we do deny the Trick Room from the Farigiraf. Beautiful. So Farigiraf goes down. Excellent. Excellent. And if they Flare Blitz, that's fine too. Because Golden Go basically did the job I kind of needed it to. Oh, Assurance. Okay. So I lose Zork. Not too bad. Not too bad. So Zork goes down, but I mean, Zork, you did a lot of work for me. So getting rid of Farigiraf is beautiful. Life Orb Insyn. I think it's in range of Make It Rain, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I guess we still have a little bit of a weird time against Camerupt. But overall, like, I'm really liking my spot here. I'm just going to go out into my Barbaracle here. They're going to go Camerupt? Mimikyu. Okay. It's not great, but it's fine. Yeah, this is fine. I think my play here always is to go for rock. Okay, so they can get Trick Room up now because they actually have 2 Trick Room users, but I think this is okay because I can figure out a way to stall this out. I think if I get a flinch here, the game, it's not guaranteed locked, but I'm in a really, really good spot if it is. I think I just switch out the gold into instant and click Rock Slide. And I'm saying regular form because I don't want to become a victim of Play Rough here from the Mimikyu. Although they have Wood Hammer, it's bad, but I mean, I expect Play Rough before. So we get the Intimidate off. They Shadow Claw. Oh, they didn't Trick Room. Okay. I'm shocked they didn't get Trick Room up. We go for Rock Slide? Because I was going for like I could potentially flinch here, but you know what? We'll take it. Beautiful. Disguise is broken on the Mimikyu. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Is the last... What's the last Mon? Is it Sylveon? Because I feel like it might have been Sylveon if they're playing it this way. No, it is Camerupt. Okay. I'm offensive on the Instant. I'm just going to go for Rock Slide Flare Blitz. Because if I should be able to KO the Mimikyu with offensive Instant plus the Rock Slide from Barbaracle after breaking the Disguise ship from earlier. So if I KO the Mimikyu here, then I could just double up the Camerupt the next turn. And usually a lot of these Mimikyus don't run Protect, so that's why I'm thinking that doubling up the Mimikyu is always my best play here. I also have a chance to flinch Camerupt as well with Rock Slide, so... Or, you know, just flinch Eaters, because Rock Slide's a good move, so... that's the goal here. We're gonna see Mega Camerupt here in action. But I feel pretty good about this. And if they just Shadow Claw, that works too. We hit Rock Slide, so I feel pretty good about this. Yeah, we did a lot with Rock Slide, and I mean a lot. So Flare Blitz will come out into Mimikyu, take the knockout, beautiful. And unless this is physical Camerupt for some reason, we should be secure, because Earthquake's the only move I could see them coming back in the game. If it's Earth Power, that's fine. And they target the Instant, okay, it's game over. Shadow Ball Close Combat easily KOs the Camerupt. But even if they didn't, I had 2 mons that were just faster than Camerupt. I click Shadow Ball plus Throat Chop into either Throat Chop or Shadow Ball, depending on who Camerupt KO'd next. So, yeah. Beautiful. Plan work. Zork puts in the work, and yeah, just was able to deny Trick Room. Alright, we have Whimsicott, Charizard, King Gambit, Garchomp, Floette, and the Basculegion. So, I mean... always big six. You have to account for facing one of them at the very least. This is going to be interesting. So what am I expecting here? Do I just lead Barbaracle Ensign? Barbaracle Ensign's not bad here. A lot of the Gambits have dropped Chople on this team, so they're usually like Aqua or Black Glasses at the current moment, so I actually do threaten the KO here. I feel like Ensign Barbaracle seems really, really nice. I do like Barbaracle Ensign. It wasn't the prettiest game plan when we had like a similar matchup earlier, but I think that this is pretty good. I think it's Barbaracle Ensign. I still think I bring Weavile and Sinisha. If they have Floette, concerning. But I feel like I feel like Charizard just makes a lot of sense because my Heatwave switch-ins are very limited. Even if I do have Barbaracle, like, I feel like you're still gonna bring Charizard over Floette because I feel that the Charizard just puts in more work against my team in general. Like, Floette doesn't really sweep my team because of gold. And let's see. Could be completely off, but we'll see what my opponent decides to go. Gonna be the lead of King Gambit Floette. Okay, they did bring Floette. This is actually scary. I was really hoping they wouldn't bring Floette. Okay. Okay, this is very, very bad. Okay, I made a commitment, it didn't work out. So I have access to Shell Smash Fake Out. They could kowtow to Barbaracle though. They could Iron Head if they have it, or they could switch to Whimsicott. I think my best attempt here is to Rock Slide Flare Blitz the Gambit. I'm hoping Whimsicott. Okay, no, it's yeah, I had to make a hard read. I think after a really bad lead, it looks like this commitment is over, unfortunately, because they're probably just clicking Dazzling Gleam here plus Iron Head. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's still not great because I don't know how much Flare Blitz does. I think it probably doesn't KO the Gambit. Well, it depends on how fast it was, but it's not fast Gambit at all. It's like actually really slow. Okay. That gives me a chance, actually. There should be kowtow, right? Yeah. So kowtow knocks out Barbaracle. Maybe I have a chance. Because I can go Weavile. Also, again, I didn't Mega Evolve the Barbaracle because I was going to be weak to Fairy type moves afterward. I also was hoping... Like, here's the thing. If I fake out the Floette and I click Mega Shell Smash, I think I actually am in a really good spot. So I'm actually very shocked that they did this, but... Okay, we go out in a Weavile. We're clicking Triple Axle into the Floette and hoping we just get the knockout. And we're gonna Flare Blitz, but I feel that we're probably still losing because, or do I? Can I protect? Because I feel like their best play with Floette is just to protect Floette, sack Gambit, and Sucker Punch the Weavile. That's what I think. Actually, I could just fake out the Floette, Flare Blitz because we know my instance faster than Gambit. There's not really much punish. Yeah, they do go for the protect play because I think they're just trying to get in Whimsicott afterward. So this makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They protect Sucker Punch because they know that if they break the Sash on Weavile, they can go Whimsicott and click Dazzling Gleam. So that's kind of why I went for this play. I was debating about triple axling earlier to ensure to knock on the Floette, assuming I connect my triple axles, but yeah. So at least I get something right, but it's still looking pretty rough. This is Whimsicott coming in, yep. Okay, who's the last is going to be a good question. I feel like I have to always go out in a Sinisha. So I think I'm forced to triple axle the Floette because if I don't KO the Floette now, I just lose. I mean, if this is Dazzle, I can parting shot the Whimsicott here. Yeah, I think I parting shot the Whimsicott. They go for a Tailwind. Yep, this is Dazzling Gleam, I imagine. Or they might Moonblast Instant, but that's fine. Yeah, they Dazzle. I should live this. Yes. Okay, I need to land all the triple axles into the Floette, and we might have a game. Triple axle. Nice. Okay. Winnable. Winnable. Because I see the vision here. I get the parting shot off into the Whimsicott. Now we get to go into Sinistra. We get the Hospitality on Weavile, which is important. And then this is Basky Legion back? If it's Garchomp, I win. There's no way I think it's regular Charizard. Yeah, it's Basky Legion. Okay. So I'm going out into Incin. And I think to place a Trick Room here. I was debating about do I click Matcha Gotcha here, but I think I sack Incin. I go for this so I can Rage Powder the next turn. Let's see. I need Sinistra to live the last respect, but this might be a tough ask here. I do lose my Incin. I was forced to go for this play. I can't Rage Powder the Whimsicott Moonblast because of the Grass typing. Last respect. Ah, it KOs. It's Life Orb. I basically had to hope it wasn't Life Orb Basque. Yeah. If it wasn't Life Orb Basque, I get Trick Room up because I survived the last respect after the Intimidate, and then Weavile could maybe do something. So I felt like I played this pretty well, at least towards the end game, because I kind of got what my opponent expected. Maybe, actually, no. Maybe the play was if I'm hard committing on the Floette going for it, I should have doubled up the Floette. Yeah, looking back at it, I think in this game, I should have doubled up the Floette on the Protect. Because then next turn, I threaten Triple Axle and the Flare Blitz. But the thing is, because they have a lot of resources, they could save Floette, go into Basky Legion, click Tailwind, or click Sucker Punch still. So I'm actually still in a rough spot. Now, I think regardless, like even if I do that, I think it might have given me odds though, assuming that they stay in with Floette. But I think they would always go into Bask for the Floette slot because I am positioning a double knockout with Triple Axle on the Floette that just burned its Protect and Flare Blitz into Gambit if I don't KO the Gambit that turn. But yeah, now I just am unable to win. I think, like, again, if the Basque wasn't Life Orb, I have a position where next turn I can Rage Powder, potentially knock off and be in a good spot. But yeah, this just ensures the game is over at this point. So yeah. Took a gamble on the lead. It didn't exactly work out for me. But what a run with Barbaracle. So how was the team? I'm very shocked. I'm very shocked. I think Life Orb Gold just super strong. I actually have been very, very much a non-believer in Gold, especially after the nerf. And let me just say, every time I click Make It Rain, I'm like, please don't get that random 5% accuracy, which was just such a weird change realistically. And I don't know why they did that. I think the -2 was already annoying, but yeah, Life Orb Gold super strong as we saw. Barbaracle was actually pretty impressive because even though in some games it was like weird as a Shell Smash mon, I mean the threat of Shell Smash is just like something that can just either do really well in the early game, or as we saw in the late game, I was able to set up pretty consistently against weakened mons and then really be able to run away with the game from there. So I think it's actually pretty effective just because of that strong factor. And yeah, you just play mind games, especially with Barbaracle, because of the fact that you don't have to Mega Evolve, which is pretty neat because you could use the water typing, which is pretty solid, before you Mega Evolve. And just, you know, be neutral to like Basket Legion Wave Crash instead of super effective, as well as like the Steel type moves as well. So yeah, pretty effective tool to be able to sweep with Barbaracle and allow it to set up, which is pretty nice. If you would like to try out the team, try it out with Replica Code. It was a lot of fun. And if you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creators, I'll link them down in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.